What's going on, everybody? Lucky Ocean podcast here with Adam from Space Pugs, and of course, Cleanup as always. What's going on, Adam?
Not much, man. Pleasure to meet you again. To see you again, and nice to meet you as well, Cleanup. Yeah, really great to be here. Finally, to be on your show. We talked many times, and we always talked about coming on the show for Poker Club and stuff. So it's really, really nice to finally make it. Yeah,
I appreciate you coming on, man. How have you been? How have you been finding the space? I know the FTX FUD has been crazy lately.
Oh, that's crazy, isn't it? You know, it's not. I'm not following so much because I'm trying to concentrate on what we're doing, but it's not good for the space. And thank God Cardano hasn't crashed. You know, we are pretty strong, but yeah, we're building. We're working hard. You know, the developers are working hard in the background, building the platform, and we're getting ready for the Vox Mint. And it's a Vox Mint, but it does have the airdrops for Cardano Poker that come into play as well. So it's kind of an interesting mint, you know, and we'll kind of get into that, won't we?
Yeah, I got the little picture up that'll explain everything, and you can walk us through it. But how you doing today?
Well, feeling good, dude. It is snowing outside, so it's like, you know, I came back from Connecticut like a week ago, and I was in my shorts and my Kong sweatshirt or whatever, and I was coming back to Indiana because that's where I'm from, and I step outside. It was 70 degrees in Connecticut, and then all of a sudden it was like straight blizzard coming back to Indiana, and I was like, I was not expecting this at all. You know, I thought it would be a nice warm 60 or 70 degrees, you know, because you don't think about that sort of stuff. But dude, yeah, it's been snowing pretty much every night since. It's been pretty awful, I would say.
I thought it was bad here. You know, it's starting to go dark at like 4 p.m. and no, that's it's not snowing yet. It's not snowing. Although this morning I did get woken up at 6:15 a.m. because we have 6 chickens in the background, and I could just hear them going off. And I know exactly what's happening when they're going off. There's a fox in the garden, so I'm like rushing downstairs. It's pouring down with rain, and I'm like out there. By the time I went out there, you know, I was clapping. It runs away. You can't get inside in our enclosure. But by the time I came in, I was just wringing wet. So there was no going back to sleep then. So I've kind of been up. So
that's awesome.
I feel like foxes just always know where the chickens are, man. Is that just like a part of their nature? They just find them, because I feel like there's no foxes in the area, but as soon as you get chickens, they're just like, "Yep, this is where I'm gonna live."
Here it is.
Here it is. When we first got them, we used to let them out all the time. Even last Christmas, we went away for 3 days and we just left the coop open. But we wouldn't do that now. It's like we were just so new, we didn't really know what we were doing. Now they're locked in all the time. We've made it bigger. They've got loads of stuff to do in there, so they're kind of always, they're not bored. And yeah, it's great having them. You know, that's probably, we are vegan, but we do eat the eggs from our chickens, which is a nice little bonus. You know,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I think having organic eggs is probably really healthy too. So that's awesome.
Oh God, you know, sometimes I come in and they're still warm. Sometimes I'm cooking them. You know, it's if anyone doesn't know how to make the best eggs, this is something I actually learned this year at 41. I always used to try to do poached eggs, spin the water and everything. I'm like, no, all you do, you just get a frying pan that's like really thick, boiling water. When it's bubbling, just put the egg straight into it, and they're just like perfect eggs, so soft, and especially when they're from your garden as well, they're like even nicer. So, no,
I gotta ask you though, sunny side up or scrambled?
No, I do poached eggs.
Poached.
Oh, poached. Okay.
Poached. Yeah, I literally just explained it. But when I used to do fried, I'd actually cook both sides. So I think that's over easy, maybe you would say. I think in the States, I remember a bit of the lingo traveling there. I used to have an American accent at one point. But, that's a long time ago.
I used to be able to do a decent English accent, but nope, it's gone. It's horrible now.
It's always fun trying to do the accent. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to butcher it, and everyone does take the piss. You know, it's all good.
Yeah, because this is recorded. So if you butcher anything on here, it's totally recorded and will be part of internet history.
It's all good. It's all good. I don't mind messing up on here. Like when I performed in front of 10 million people, then I was nervous at the BGT semi-finals. Then I was nervous, you know, and I didn't mess that up. So to be honest, after that, I don't really get scared of much. You know,
what did you perform?
I was an acrobatic inline figure skater. So like acrobatics, like throwing girls around and spinning them and stuff. You kind of, if you search my name on YouTube, you'll probably find me. You can find my channel and stuff like that.
Kind of a big deal.
I mean, it was my whole life.
Yeah.
From 17 till 40. I mean, I'm still performing this year in Mexico till 41. I performed ice skating for 20 years and then switched to inlines and did like Cirque du Soleil and then a few different Got Talent shows. I think I just wanted to be famous, But,
Wait, 41? You're in your 40s?
Yeah, I'm 41, man. I'll be 42 like in like 6 weeks.
That's crazy. You look to me like you're in your 30s.
No, you're too kind. Yeah, I mean, just past like 39 and a half,
Yeah, I was actually talking with this to my mom the other day. I was like, Mom, I used to like look at older women and be like, dang, they look really old. And now I look at older women and I'm like, I think they're in their teens or like, 20s, and they're like in their 30s or 40s. And I cannot tell anymore. Like older women to me just look really young.
Oh, it's mad, isn't it? Well, just think it's almost 23 years since the millennium.
Yeah. Maybe it's all that makeup or new Pilates workout they got going on. I don't know.
I don't know. My girlfriend looks pretty young, to be honest. She's 35, but I mean, she gets asked for ID sometimes, and that's 18 here. Right? She just looks so young. Not like that young. Not even good at
like, this space is recorded.
I know. Sometimes with no makeup, I'm like, "Cause you look so young right now." Just what she's wearing, I'm like, "Is that bad?" I'm like, "No, but don't look too young." She's half Malaysian, so half Asian. So I'm not complaining.
Good genes. You got a nice one.
Yeah, you guys have partners?
Nope.
I have a wife.
Yeah, I have a wife,
and so we've been together for 16 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, seems like a lifetime.
Impressive.
And all she does, she like goes to bed earlier now. She doesn't like drink Metamucil or anything like that. She still looks young, but dude, she needs at least a good 8 to 9 hours of sleep, or the next morning.
Oh, good. Oh, tell me.
Don't even talk to her.
This is women, 100%. Like my girlfriend. I mean, she goes to bed maybe 2, maybe 3, but she'll get up at like 11, 12 because we both don't. I say don't work. All I do is work, but it's like that we don't have like a job to go to. She teaches online contortion. She was actually a contortionist. You might have seen her in Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was the contortionist in the brothel scene where she comes up and does all this. So she teaches this online and she performs. Like we did perform together, But women, to go back to what we were talking about, like they just love sleep.
Yeah.
But did you? How did you pick her up? Like not in a figurative way. In a figurative way, not the actual pick her up. Did you like skate by her and she was like doing some contortionist sort of stuff? How did that first conversation go down?
I mean, should we do the honest version?
So yeah, that's always best.
So after I did BGT, I got a lot of opportunities to do photo shoots and different things. I did a photo shoot with a photographer, and 2 of her students were there. And after this, she kind of came onto my radar, and I'm like, who is this chick? So I kind of I followed her a little bit, but we weren't close. I was in Blackpool or I was traveling, and she was in London. And then when I came to teach roller skating, like 1 hour from here, she just happened to come up one day in my feed, and I was like, I'm just going to message her. I mean, this was 2 years later. I hadn't been stalking her, but I'd been, paying attention to her, we'll say, And I just messaged her. I said, well, we should meet up, do a photo shoot. And she's like, okay. 2 days later, we did a photo shoot, and then we just started chatting. And then eventually I moved down to here, and I was traveling all the way there to work. And then I kind of just palmed work off and just moved in here in London and started teaching online, and then just teaching her to skate. And it's been an interesting time. And now I don't do any performing. It's been like total roles reversal, So it's I keep saying I'm going to go and skate again. We've got so many offers for Christmas, but it's just a long road back, to go to the gym, start training, get back, and it all takes away from time of doing work, running the project. So I'm an all or nothing person. I believe if you're going to do something, be the best. Be the best that you can be. Like the skating, like I couldn't have got much better than where I was. I did most shows I wanted to do. And now with the project, I kind of give everything to it. You know, we've got a lot of plans that we want to do. The markets don't help, of course, but you know, we work hard, and we've got our plan and we've got our path, and we know where we're going. You know, we'll bring out the platform, and we'll kind of get into that later. But yeah, that's kind of my mindset a little bit, you know, all or nothing, you know.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that too, because when I first found out about Space Pugs, like way back, you know, I thought it was going to be Ultimate running everything, you know, and then I saw that you had joined the team. And as soon as you joined the team, it was like you were the only person that I was speaking with. And then I'd look everywhere, and you were kind of like the face of the project. And I still think you are. Like every time I think of Space Pugs, I think of you. Like you put in so much work into this project.
Yeah, this face getting older though. This face, I feel. I'm no joke. I feel like I'm like I don't even do my hair now. I'm like, no, I've got a new hairstyle. It's just like this. But yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. It's like, you know, I just try. I just feel like it's like, to be brutally honest, like you know, sometimes time passes and you forget why you do certain things. You know, there was times before the project when I would be in loads of different projects, and I would DM the founder about something. I'd never hear back. It was just a normal thing. The founder just doesn't DM you back like a celebrity on Instagram. They just don't check DMs. So I was like, when I became part of the project, when I was a mod and then I was an admin, I made sure that I replied straight away, and I kind of just brought that into the position now. Like I call myself an owner because I'm not the founder. You know, Kong and Mike were the founders, so I can't really call myself a founder. I mean, I'm a founder of Poker Club, I guess, but you know, I just own it. It's just easier. So I just try to be in the chat, and I enjoy chatting to everybody, because lately we've been starting to get some new members, which has been nice. You know, just to meet some new people and some fresh faces and see where they're from, what they're up to, and it's just nice. You know, man, it's a great opportunity, I would say, you know, to be part of a project. And for me, I believe that we will be a really successful project. I mean, we are successful, right? We just passed 2 million for our main collection. You know, there's only 50 odd projects on Cardano in existence that have ever passed 50 million. 2 million, you know, in volume. So, you know, we're doing well, and still early though.
Well, that's awesome, man. We'll jump into actually the mint that's coming up. So you guys are now minting your voxel collection, is that correct?
Yeah, and it's like, this is a mint that's been kind of you know, just shout out to the merch, by the way. It's not available yet, and it's got like this on the arm. It's not available yet. It'll be out in Q1, I would say. But yeah, so we are finally doing the Vox mint. It was supposed to be in July. Then I met Hughes and we developed Poker Club, and so we pushed Vox. We pushed it back a month at first, and then I thought, you know, let's just push it back into November. And then November kind of came around, so it was time to do the Vox Pugs. And you know, just because of the market and everything, I had reduced the supply from 7,777 down to 4,000, and I did this like months ago. I was like, let's just reduce the supply down, and then we're going to we'll be giving away 1,000 as well. So there's only 3,000 available to actually mint, and I imagine most of them will be gone during the pre-whitelist and the whitelist. I think we're getting up there already with those. We do have a few whitelists available, I think, but you know, we're not really worried too much about that. And so because of the market, I thought, you know, how can we make this different? How can we kind of add to the Vox, you know, Pugs, which is it's already good. It's already good value for 50 or 65 ADA. You know, it was like $20 or something. You know,
yeah.
But then I thought, you know what we'll do? Let's add in some airdrops that can be used for Cardano Poker. So the first one is something we're calling like Lucky Charms, or you could call them a card protector. If you ever played poker in a casino and people have their Lucky Charms sat on the card, so the dealer doesn't take them away, especially if you're in seat one and you've ever had your cards taken. So we've got 12 of those, and they have different rarities. I think the 3 of them, there's only 1 in the pack. And then if you scroll down, you can kind of see all of the different ones there. So if we go all the way down, I think that if you keep going, so the least rare is actually going to be you've just gone past it. It's going to be the Pug chip, and I made sure that the one that doesn't have a free gift kind of is probably one that everyone would like to have, because I think everyone would really like to have one of those pug chips, because I mean the art is amazing from Hughes. So there's 2,000 of those, which is 50%. And then as you go down, you've got the wishbone, the different ones, all the way down to the ones at the bottom. And they all come with the rest all come with a gift. So you'll get 100 pug chips, all the way down to 5,000 pug chips and a utility chip. The utility chips, I think the last one sold for 1,500 AIDA and 1,000 AIDA and stuff like that. And then like one of these hoodies as well. And also some of the playing cards. So I've actually got them here. So we've got these here. They're actually real cards. And this is the back.
That's so cool.
And what I've done as well, let me just see. So what we've done, we include 2 of these, if you can see them, 2 of those, which is a QR code. So you can keep this in your wallet. So if you're out and about and you meet someone and you want to tell them about Space Pugs, they could just take this out, get the camera, and this will go to our what's it called? Your link. What's it called?
Like the QR code, and then it links to like a mint.
The link, your links, basically all of our links. I forget there's
like a link, like a link tree.
Link tree, that's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. So it goes to our link tree, so everything's kind of there. You see, there's none for sale. There's only 77 of those. I've still got six to give away. One is taken here, and so then I'll have 5 left. They've all of them were given to all the team, and then they were put in contests and giveaways. We did do a few auctions, so these were never really bought. They were kind of given away. And so that's kind of the gifts that go with the. This is why it's confusing. The gifts that go with the Lucky Charms, and these will be airdropped on the 30th. So to go back, so we'll send out the reveal. This is the one. We'll send out the hidden box, and then on the 29th they'll all reveal, and on the 30th we'll send out the advent calendar door, and then between the 1st and the 24th of December, 166 will reveal, and underneath you'll have one of the Lucky Charms, and then you'll also have a gift if you're lucky, and then on the 25th we'll send out another airdrop, which will be the reactions, which will be, if you go to there might be a few at the bottom. So some of these, so you'll have these in game. So how these work and how the Lucky Charms work, once you connect your wallet will read everything that you've got in your wallet, and you'll be able to use these in game. So someone at the end of a game, I want to get some really good ones for shit talking at the table as well, just to kind of have some fun, like the amount of times that people call with crap. Someone calls me crap. Yesterday someone called me Queen 4. And I had a pet, and it was like Queen 4-4, and they took me out of the game, and I was like, motherfucker. But I want to be able to express it without writing it, just express it, but where it's more funny, it's like more like you called with that, and have a donkey sign. There's something that's funny and original to have in the game. Like if you play GG Poker, you've got Daniel Negreanu's face where he comes up and he looks pissed off or he looks happy. It's just emotions and reactions, because there's nothing worse than a dead flat poker game, right? You need some fun in there. So you can only use the ones that you own. This is why it's really, really cool, because we'll mint them all out, and then people will be like, oh, I want that one. So then there should be a lot of action on the secondary, everyone buying the ones that they kind of want. So that'll be kind of the whole mint. And then the Cardano Poker Lucky Charms and the Cardano Poker reactions, they should be available to use in phase 1. And phase 1 is kind of scheduled with the platform for next month. So it's being built at the moment with the developers, and I just can't wait to kind of bring it out there to the world, because we've only been building since August, September, so it's not been 9 months. It's been 2 or 3 months. So it's nice. It's exciting. But
so one of the questions that I had, okay, so once you get these tokens, right, they're good for so many pug chips, right? And that's a one-time deal.
Yeah. So how the gift will work, once basically, I think we were going to do a set time, but because it's going to be happening over the whole of Christmas, once you get your reaction, your lucky charm, and you've got your gift, then we'll kind of have a window where you can kind of, you can come and kind of collect them. We'll kind of post everything how it works, but you can only collect them once, or we may just do an airdrop. That was another way. There's a few different ways we can do it. We haven't decided exactly if we'll do an airdrop or we'll kind of do it later. It's we're not sure yet, just to make sure it's seamless. If they were all coming at the same time, we could just do an airdrop at the same time to all of the people holding. So what we might have to do actually, is, at the end of when they've all revealed, to do the airdrop, so people will have to hold them. It's going to be interesting, because it's going to be one of those times where people are going to have to kind of hold their NFTs, because there's some of them, there's so many winners. There's like 500 winners of getting X amount of Pug chips. The easiest for us is just to write a script and just send them all out. That's the easiest way than opening tickets. So this could end up being like, you'll get your hidden box. And now if you sell your box, you don't get anything else. Every airdrop goes to the box, because we'll just do a snapshot and then they'll get sent out to the box. So most people, let's say you mint one, well, you're going to have to hold it. You're going to have to hold it all the way through. So I imagine, I mean, we can always hope and dream that the floor's going to be really high, but I don't know. It's different, So we'll kind of see how it goes. And obviously the stuff that you collect, like the cards and the hoodies and the utility chip, this will be open a ticket, and we'll kind of we'll take care of you. But with everything that's kind of has a lot of moving parts, it's figuring it out. How does it work? Like our mint, we have so many roles, so many people get discounts and different things. It was like, how do we do it? Because we can't use a bot, because there's too many ways to do it. And we have a form. You just come, you fill the form out and you submit it. And then Nightmare, who has been an absolute anything but a nightmare, has been kind of taking care of that for me. So it's kind of, I had to do it all for Poker Club, which was tough. And he's been doing that for me. So we will check everyone's role, check them all again once the submission closes, which is a lot of work for him, just to make sure people haven't, submitted and then later on then sold them and stuff. So we will be checking everyone just to kind of make sure. But
yeah. Shout outs to Nightmare as well. He was the one who donated me my first space pug ever. So shout outs to Nightmare.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, we've got some great team members, on the team. It's it wouldn't work without them. People like Elite, who's been here for a long time, and Nightmare, both of those, and Too Clean as well is amazing, and obviously, Mark and Danny and Hughes and Vive. Now we've got some new members, and Yuri, and who else have we got? We've got Thor as well, and CJ. Quite a few people here helping, and it just makes it easy, and it's more fun for the holders. And yeah.
So with these things, I'm going to try to go through it one by one, kind of like the utility and how it all works, because I'm still a little confused on some of the things. So the first thing, the utility, that makes sense. It's voxel. It's going to work in every single voxel metaverse. And then there's going to be staking rewards for these as well. And you'll be earning 27 per month. So that's pretty straightforward, I believe. The mint, though, is going to be a reveal type mint. Now, whose idea was it to do a reveal type mint, and why did you decide to do it that way?
Oh, well, the reveal, this was the idea. So Hughes came over about 2 months ago, or maybe more, to London, and we actually met in a casino. Of course, why not? We're having we're having just some chats, just brainstorming some ideas. I'm like, what could we do? He's like, I had this idea to do like a calendar, and every day for the whole of December, like, an airdrop every single day. And I was like, that might be a bit tough. Maybe we could do something a little bit different where we reveal over the whole period, So then we came up with the advent calendar door. And then literally just last week, because we're just going to use the advent calendar door for both of them. And I thought, that's going to be weird to get an advent calendar in November and then it reveals on the 29th. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Okay. And then I'm like, Hughes, let's make another one. So he made this one, and actually the no, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm not giving that away. But yeah, so the first one that'll come will be the hidden box, and then it will reveal. And there's actually 7 one of ones, and there's something we've done. So the people that have the one of ones from Alpha, there was 7 one of ones. I kept one. Mike had one, and I give one to Monster, our biggest holder. And then there was 4 others that were auctioned off, and they were quite expensive, like up to like 12,000 ADA. They went for. So what we did for those people that Poker Club, you got the same one of one, that your same pug from the Poker Club, and now from Vox you're going to get your Vox as well. So they've got like 3 one of ones, and it's all the same one because no one sold them. They've all kept them. So I want to just make sure we keep building like more value in for those holders, because I really do appreciate them. So yeah, so this one here is actually a one of one that's on there. That's actually Nightmares that's on there. So they have different backgrounds, and they look really cool. I mean, they all look really cool as well. I can't wait to use them. It'll probably be Unbounded Earth, I imagine, first, because you can already play there, can't you? A little bit. So yeah, so the box is pretty self-explanatory.
So the reveal, though, it's going to be revealing 166 of the pugs in December, or are the pugs getting all revealed on November 29th?
Correct. All revealed on the 29th.
Okay. And so the airdrop of the advent calendars, those are what's going to be revealed 166 every single day throughout December?
Correct. Yeah, so this is what's going to be fun for, like, imagine you've got 1 or 2, and you're going to keep checking pool.pm every day. Has mine revealed? Yes or no? What did I get? Did I win something? Oh, I got this. You're going to go and check what I've won, so it's going to be fun. And the thing is, whilst you're waiting for yours to reveal, other people's are going to be revealing, and they're going to be hitting JPEG, and you're like, oh, I want that one, but I don't know have I got that one. So it's just going to really gamify, and I think it's just going to be a lot of fun over Christmas. I mean, I can't wait. I'm probably going to be sniping. I'm like, it's going to be fun, So yeah, that's kind of how that'll work.
So is it going to actually be like an advent calendar? Those little squares in the middle, is that what's going to kind of like break apart, and that's what you're going to see?
No, it'll just be like this. So it's just one advent calendar door, and then it will kind of it'll just reveal something underneath. 1 second, I just need to close something.
Yeah, I've noticed a couple of projects have done reveal mints, which I think is exciting. In a way, originally when I thought, okay, so one thing I do like about our NFT space here on Cardano is the fact that most things have not been a reveal, right? They've been, okay, here's what you got, and that's it, which is kind of a reveal within itself, but it's like very short term, right? And you're not holding it for like a week, so you can't like play in the market. I think it's exciting. It's because it's like the ultimate RNG bag. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I'm going to buy 20 of these, and maybe one is like a insanely rare one. I've kind of changed my tune about it a little bit, with certain projects. It's been really exciting because they can just reveal sneak peeks time after time after time, and then you get hyped up over what you could have, and then you try to play the market to what you could have and look for specific numbers because for some odd reason you think it's more of an advantage to get, a 421 or a 69 or a 666 or whatever you want to get, So yeah, this is your first time ever doing like a reveal, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Something that I've really paid attention to, because I have watched like Unbothered What Wolves, where certain people obviously knew which numbers to get. So I've spoke with Tiger about this, and even though when I sent to him, I'm like, if you would go down, it's like certain numbers, and then like the gifts, they're like all there, but everything will be mixed up. I won't know. There's no way that I could find it. I wanted to make sure there's no chance of anything like this. It's literally, and I said to him, is it possible when you send out the Vox and you send out the calendar that it doesn't have any numbers? And he's like, I'm not sure, but he said, but I'll make sure everything's mixed up anyway, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, there's going to be none of that, and it is fun. I think the clay. What happened with the clay cats? It just left a sour taste in everyone's mouth because they rugged, and it's then after the fact, it's like, God, you can rug so easy with a reveal. You just have to have a couple of.
I don't think it had to do with the reveal though. I think it had to do with them only being on Twitter, saying the Discord would be revealed later after that. Like they didn't have too much skin in the game. Like they could have minted anything, I think, in my opinion, and just fucked off with the money very easily.
I thought the clay cats, to be quite honest with you, when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, this is a rug, like right when I saw it, it was like, there was no, I mean, I feel bad for the people that rugged kind of, but like, if you just even took a look at any of the pictures, you were like, yeah, that's a rug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I really think the game though really is to mint and flip. Like a lot of us are in here to do that. And if you did mint clay cats, you had an opportunity to flip and you should have. However, because there was that opportunity to flip, that means that there's a portion of people that are actually buying those. So you do kind of need some suckers, sadly, to buy those up in order to create your minting or flipping opportunity. So it's not something that like I'm really condoning, but if you did mint and you didn't make money, I think you played it wrong.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, there's always going to be a winner and a loser of every transaction in crypto. There's always a winner and a loser, right? Someone buys at the top but there's another thing as well, like this is what's great because we're not the same. Like I'll have certain projects where I don't flip them, I buy them and I hold them for long term. And my projects that I'm personally holding will be different to yours. But then we may be flipping the same projects, or there might be a project that you want to buy and hold and I want to flip it. So what's good, every project, there's going to be, there's probably like 70 to 90% of flippers at the moment because everyone's just trying to make that quick money, because we just don't know when all the cards are going to fall down and the war's going to start. And who knows what's happening next, right? So we're all just making sure we make some money, so it's still fun. And I don't mint as much. I don't get to be in as much as I was before, but I'd still try to keep my nose to the ground and kind of see what's coming up. I mean, saying that, I am actually talking with a few projects in Twitter DMs. Setting up some whitelists and there's some fun ones coming up. The Collectors Club. I'm not going to lie. I think everyone's kind of excited for that one.
Yeah, we were talking earlier too about the pug chips. So I just wanted to briefly show that you had this massive spike up here, and I'll let you kind of explain why this happened. But there's these opportunities inside of DeFi now where you can really have these massive flips. I mean, the floor was what, like 0.01, and then it jumped all the way up to 1.8. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean that was we didn't expect that to happen so much, when we decided to do the zombie pug mint, just in pug chips, 500 pug chips was like 9 or 10 ADA. What's that, like $3 or something? So it was just something for the, some utility for the pug chips, for people who've been staking them. But then lots of new people kind of heard about it and then they wanted to mint, but they didn't have pug chips. So they had to go and buy them and it just shot up. And I'm like, oh my God, here's a preview. This is a preview of when we release the platform. This is like 1% of what's going to happen. When we release the platform and suddenly everyone sees how good it is and they want to play and they want pug chips, like it's gonna go crazy. I really think it is. And there's some people that they understand, they can see, sometimes there's those people that kind of saw mutants a while ago and I remember Awesome as Yaley, I would butcher his name. He was just talking about mutant mice.
JL.
He was just putting them, like this. And then look what happens. Look what happened to mutants. All three collections absolutely mooned, and there's people, yesterday I think someone spent 900 ADA. There's only like 1100 ADA of liquidity there, ADA, and he spent 900 and it shot up yesterday. But then I'm happy that people come in and sell it and it kind of goes back down. So it's always staying between 1100 and 1500 ADA in there, which is nothing at the moment, but it's kind of stable-ish, but it's, it's not financial advice, but, we are confident in what we're building, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. what happens.
Yeah, mutants. I bought at I think it was 1.4, and then it fell all the way back down to 0.10 or even 0.09 last night or a few nights ago, and I scooped some more up, just dollar cost average. But I think when they come out with their new mint, I really think this is going to shoot back up to maybe 0.2 or something like that.
I think so. You know what's funny with mutants? Because ages ago I spent, not a lot. I've like 500 ADA. I bought some mutant just like the day they released the raffles. I bought 500, but then I went and spent them all on raffles. And like 2 days later, that 500 was probably like 2,000. But the raffles are fun. It's like raffles, lotteries, poker. It just fulfills the degen inside us. If you're here in the bear market, then you do like to gamble and you do like to take risks, and you are looking for something that's just exciting. So it ticks all the boxes. So that's why we're all still here, unless you're just absolute bag holders. You bought into Boss Cats at like 3,000 ADA and some others. It's I don't know. It's just fun if you like it. If you kind of enjoy the space, and yeah, raffles are fun. Have you raffled anything yet?
I have not. I haven't created a raffle or put any tokens in for a raffle. I just it's really funny that everything we do is pretty much a gamble, but I hate gambling. Like, I will not buy a scratch ticket for $2. I won't do it. I think it's a waste of money. I'll buy it for gifts if that's what people like. My mom loves scratch tickets. I go with her every single day to the to gas stations, and I'll let her pick out her. Well, I'm not gonna let her. She's gonna do it anyways. But I go with her. I watch her like pick out all her scratch tickets. I watch her scratch them. She gets excited when she wins, and we have a good little time about it. But to me, I'm like, Mom, if you just put all of this into Cardano right now, and she just doesn't want to hear it. She's just like, shut up. And but it's because it's guaranteed in my eyes, and I know nothing is guaranteed, but that's just kind of how I view it. I'd much rather take like a risk on approach rather than just a straight gamble.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing is guaranteed, but just watching the markets and listening to this huge space where Charles was on there, it's inevitable. If it's just, we all want to fast forward like 5 years now, don't we? We want to fast forward 5 years, and the crypto market is huge, it's regulated, and it just works, and it's where whatever you want to, 5, 10, 20, $30, whatever it is, multiples from here. That's what we're all excited for. It's just, hopefully we're not all broke by the time that happens, because if it just keeps going down and down and down and down and down, then it's just makes life harder, doesn't it? When you've got to take it out to live. So it's it's inevitable. We just got to get through this bear market, I think.
So I'm trying to actively flip, like a little bit more than usual, I guess you would say, because my problem is like, so we're not supposed to buy Cardano off exchanges and keep it there, but it's difficult. So when I buy stuff, it's on, this is not a plug, Binance.us, right? And so I buy my ADA from there because, frankly, I don't like Coinbase, okay? And I don't like KuCoin or anything like that. I just buy my stuff off Binance.us, okay? So anyway, the problem is, when I'm DCAing, which is what I'm doing now, I can't withdraw those funds for the next, it said 10 days. So every week I am I'm buying these funds through ACH or whatever, and they have to stay there for a little while. And then as soon as the 10 days are up, I immediately plug them out. Are there any other places where I can buy ADA? Because the only way I can stack ADA right now is by flipping, right? Like, so I'm playing a risky game, trying to flip during a bear market, okay? And then because I don't necessarily want to buy off exchanges, because who knows what's going to happen.
Well, you can buy through Eternal, just through the app.
Through what?
Eternal, the wallet.
You can buy through Eternal?
Yeah. Go to Eternal, and in the top right, it'll say buy ADA, I think. I just have to wait till it loads.
And where does it come from? Just
I haven't used it. I would imagine from just click one of them. Buy Ada. Yeah, buy Ada. I haven't used it. I just know you can. And just imagine you were going to buy something. Are you going to buy? Imagine you just buy live now, like $10.
Yeah, I could.
I mean,
This wallet's got nothing in it though.
I could.
But what happens when you click buy? What does it say?
Your country or region is currently not supported.
Yeah,
Well, see, Adam, now that doesn't work.
Now, we don't recommend this, but you probably, maybe, potentially could use a VPN.
Yeah. Or what you can do, you could just send me US dollars and I'll send you the ADA amount.
Right.
You know, it's funny. I've thought before. I'm like, God. I mean, I've actually done it quite a lot. Actually, it's an easy way for me to get fiat and for people to get ADA and not actually go through an exchange. Just send it to my PayPal or my US bank account or your whatever it is. You know, there's different ways to do it. Right? If someone holds ADA and they kind of want to take it out, you just can kind of bypass. Not financial advice, but you know. That's one thing you can do. And
yeah, I wanted to ask you too. Earlier, you know, we were speaking about flipping, and like my mentality is to mint, flip, and honestly hold like two. So I like to mint enough to where I can flip to at least break even. That's kind of my goal with every single mint. So that way I get my liquidity back and I'm holding for the long term, and then I can continue to do that as often as possible. Now, are you still minting during times of peak volatility like now, or do you know in your head that these things are going to drop in price and you're waiting to kind of buy off the floor?
I mean, I'm not really minting that much. Like, what have I minted lately? I minted quite a lot of the World Cup from Cardano Lounge. I minted like 20 of those yesterday. Not to flip or anything, just to mint them to be part of the project that they're doing. Where is it? It's not showing. Just maybe put World Cup or something. But what a lot of people did, because everyone was looking for Brazil and England and Portugal and France and Germany. Well, people didn't get those, so they just dumped them down to like 11 ADA. And I looked in some people's wallets, and some people minted like 50 or 60. So they were looking for Brazil, and they were looking for these really, really strong teams, and then they just kind of put all the others just on the floor and just undercut everyone to like 11 ADA. So I'll keep some, and then I'll give them away as prizes for my holders. And then I minted NFT Seeker just to hold. I minted all three parts just to kind of to have the utility of everything it's going to do. And then for other things, I haven't really been minting so much, because at the moment I'm not really trying to mint anything that doesn't have a reason to exist other than to have a community and use the funds to do giveaways. There's like a few projects that there's no roadmap of, they're not doing anything yet. So they're building a community, but I'm like, that's in a bull market, that's fantastic, because we get excited about the art. There's a few projects lately that have had really good art. But then past that, I'm like, what is that? Because I don't have time to be in communities. The little bit of time I have to chat, I'm doing it in my own Discord. So I'm not buying to go and be part of a community. So for me personally, I'm buying just to hold the project, or if it's something really hype, I might mint to flip if I can mint a few. But there's not so much at the moment. A lot of projects, there's too much supply, and not enough people buying, and then too many flippers. So if you don't have whitelist and you don't get it first, you miss the opportunity. So it is a lot of gambling, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Clean. Jeremy also said, go check out Kraken.
Yeah, I could check out Kraken, I guess.
I mean, my opinion is, just don't even buy right now. But I don't think Coinbase, like, I like Coinbase just because it's on the US stock exchange, and I feel like if anything happened, they would be entitled to pay their users. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just kind of my basis for it. I imagine if they got into trouble, it'd be way worse than some of the other ones that aren't in America.
Yeah. I mean, why don't you like Coinbase? Because That whenever I use them, I mean, I don't put money in. I only take it out. It's literally from me deciding now to take money out. It'll be in my bank account in 3 or 4 minutes. I'll just send it to the wallet, put it there, and put it straight in my bank account. And it's that fast to go in as well. In and out, it's like minutes. It's so fast.
I mean, I could, I guess, do that. I don't know. I never used Coinbase once I saw Binance, because it was just like, well, Binance had so many different other options, right? And other things like that. And so I haven't really been keeping up, I guess, with Coinbase.
If your goal is just to get ADA into your NAMI Eternal or whatever, then I mean it works,
Okay.
It works, and they haven't been mentioned in anything bad so far. So I'm like, I feel like they're quite safe, even like crypto.com, and then it's scary.
It's rough. Yeah, and so Nick, like, it's 30 cents for ADA right now.
Yeah.
My first big bag that I put a lot of my actual finances into, I bought in at 33 cents. So now I'm buying for less than that. And so, I mean, I can't help but buy. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's great.
mean, I wish that was my first big purchase. My big purchase was at 133. That I put in a K or 2K. It was like everything I had. I was like, this is it.
We're going.
And I watched it go to like 3.5 or whatever it went up to, and I was just like, it's gonna moon. And yeah.
You know what's funny? We all get that moment, right? You get that moment where it's like, I mean, it's almost euphoria, right? Wait, there's a moment, it's like it's rising, and then it just keeps going, and there's a point where you're like, oh my god, it's going to keep going. That's the point you should sell. Like clays the other day, I bought I bought some more clay, and it went all the way up to like 4.5, and that's when I actually sold some at the top and then put it into greens, but I'm like, oh, I should have sold it all, because it went all the way back. It's all the way back down to now 2.8.
Yeah.
All these missed opportunities. But going back, I started this year in January. When I got in, it was like £1 to £1. It was like $1.20, and I put in £10,000, and then we actually put in and bought a rocket and a 1K cat, and that was like £23,000 we put in to buy those. Now I think they're worth that. If we held those, they would be worth about, I don't know. Rockets at the moment are like 5,000 ADA. It's like £1,000, and we paid 13,000. Right. So this is why it's sometimes good to be buying and selling. And I sold in profit, thank God. But it's tough. It's the markets. This is what it is. Nobody expected that when it was all amazing in January, February. Ape Society came out and everything was great still, and nobody knew this would happen in the world, and then the war would start, and it's just been a tough time, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. Like I think you're 99% right? Like every time you see a project that's mooning and you're like, it's going to keep going, it doesn't. However, Ape Society did for like 2 weeks. It kept going up and up, and I had constant people like, should I sell? Should I sell? And I was like, dude, if you're asking me, I would have told you to sell like 4,000 ADA ago, 5,000 ADA ago. Like, I don't know. I have no clue. It's insane the amount that's coming in right now.
Yeah, I actually bought 3. I bought 2,600 and 2 at 3,000. And then I sold, I put one at the market at like 5.5 because it's kind of stopped. And then I just took it off. And then I woke up the next day and it was like 7 something. And it was going up and it stopped. And then I sold one at 7.5. And then I held both of the others all the way up to 15, 16 something. Oof. And then I held them both, and I sold them both around 10K.
That's pretty good, though.
It just felt like all the wind, the momentum had gone. I'm like, I'm just going to sell now, and I'll watch on the sidelines. And if I feel like it might again, but it'll be hard to get a double up from there now. I think it's
right.
We'll see. 15K. I did put one on the market as well, and I was like, and then I just took it off, and then it started dropping. I'm like.
Now we're getting to the point where people are going to only lose so much, right? So as far as the market goes, I don't think it's going to be crashing anytime soon. Like people aren't buying NFTs for 8K and then selling for like 3. It's just not.
No, exactly.
It's not going to happen. So I think it's for the majority part kind of stable, like around the 8 or 7K spot might be it. But is it going to head to 14K? No, I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes what I did as well with one of them, because I like to just think of this as like one pocket of money. So I'm like, okay, this goes up to like, I sold it at 10 and I'll take that over and I'll buy like another clay and a couple more GCs and I'll buy some more, because this was before that even started running. Like, I'm like, the only project that's not run yet is clays. We're still stuck at 0.02 or 198 and stuff. And I'm like, just buy some more of there. I'll just ship it over there. And then it suddenly started running, you know, and clays still haven't had their big pop. You know, I really think that over the next month, there could be some really, really big action with the marketplace coming out, with the pets coming out. They've started talking about the pets. I imagine the pets is going to be, you know, paid for in pug chips, in clay, and then there's going to be the video with Snoop, and you know, who knows what's going to happen at the summit. You know, so. I think there's there's an opportunity there, you know. And,
you heard it here first.
Yeah,
you can buy clay stuff with pug chips.
Yeah.
Go get your pug chips, guys.
Yeah. One day. Well, I mean, the thing is, one day, if your token is successful, then other projects will let you use it. You know, to buy things like Yummy Universe have been doing it for a while. You know, I think that once you get to that point, you've kind of that's an achievement. You know, where another project will accept your token as currency, you know, so it has to get, I think that will happen in the future with, you know, quite a few projects. And, you know, one thing I'm really excited about is when marketplaces start accepting tokens, you know, so example, I think there's one coming out called Flipper. I think it's going to do that, you know, where all the tokens that are accepted, maybe I can put up a pug and maybe I have to set the price individually. You know, 100 ADA or 1,000 pug chips or 100 clay. Maybe you decide on each one, because or it uses the market somehow to determine you put 100 ADA, and whatever 100 ADA is in all of them, that's probably how they're going to do it, I would say.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it would be really scary because you could have somebody with a bunch that's price manipulating that, you know. Maybe maybe later on that's not going to be so easy, but you know, early on that's very easy to kind of manipulate. Like you said, like 900 ADA isn't a lot to some people. That it could really just kind of poop, you know, up and down and just kind of buy a few on those dips.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing, you know, when there isn't enough liquidity in a pool, it's like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you too, because I know your Space Pugs team has NFT Seeker abilities now. I wanted to ask you how you're finding, and I think we just got you squared away yesterday or today, but I wanted to ask you if there's anything that you were a little maybe disgruntled about with NFT Seeker, or anything that we could do better. What do you think? And be honest, bro. I'm all for it. I'm dead serious.
No, I think my personal problem at the moment is I think Snoopy came in and set reactions up, and then I think our account is still through him somehow. So I just want to set up the bots for the giveaways to be able to weight everything. That's what I'm waiting for most, where we can set up a bot and I can just input all of the different roles, and it's just one bot for everybody, not channels with different bots, because it's just a nightmare. So we haven't been doing many giveaways lately. I mean, we've got one at the moment, but I haven't been doing loads of them. 1 second, let me just shut them down. But apart from that, I'm just kind of waiting. The reaction bot, the actual reaction bot for me, I did use it and we really liked it, but then we couldn't reset it back to 0, you know, to then start again. So everyone that's been hitting reactions since the beginning of time just automatically gets the role. So then it just didn't kind of work how I hoped. So then there's no incentive for anyone then to kind of to click them because they've got other roles. So just little things like that. I know there's more stuff to use, which I haven't looked into everything yet, but you know, over the next months, it will be exciting to start utilizing everything.
Yeah.
But, there's this guy as well. He's a bit of a dickhead called Atlanick. He's always in the chat, like, trying to be funny, but
No, I appreciate that. We've definitely talked about resetting the reaction counters, and I think that's very important. I think we might have like a variable where we'll either let the team decide whenever they want to reset the counter, or we'll build something in where every 2 weeks it resets, because you're absolutely right. The reaction incentives are brilliant, but if one person's always going to win, then the incentives are kind of pointless.
No, I think for a brand new project with a brand new Discord, they can be great. If you open the Discord and you're leading up to a mint in like 4 weeks or something, I think it's perfect. There's something that we do. We call it the Great Reset, where we use the XP. So we reset XP to 0 every month. And then either the person that has the most XP, so you get XP by chatting or from poker tournaments. So whoever has the number one will win an NFT or Pug chips or something. Or everyone that passes a certain level will then enter a channel with a giveaway bot. So we've kind of used it that way. I just thought, if I could do the same thing with reactions, everyone that reaches a certain threshold will get to take part in a certain giveaway or a certain poker tournament as well. So it's adding these levels of like almost gamification, which is really fun in the Discord. Although a lot of people are on Twitter now, but that's kind of how I was hoping it would be, and that would be really cool if we can do that.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. If there is anything else that you think about after stream or whatever, hit me up, because we do know that the mint didn't go perfect, and that made some people mad too. So we're just trying to perfect what we have and make everything right.
Oh, perfect. Just whilst I've got you here, so I've got all 3 parts. If I keep them as 3 parts, is that the same functionality as like, can you submit them and you get a new NFT and it's all 3 or something like that?
Yeah. So there's going to be a burn that's going to take place, I think, in 2 to 4 weeks, somewhere in that range. I'll let Miguel kind of give a range, because our dates, we haven't been meeting them. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a burn mechanic. So you're going to send all of them in, and then they'll be combined into, actually, I'll show it, because Miguel just created like some kind of like fan art, but it's by Miguel of what they're going to look like. So
yeah, I feel like this is very similar to what we do with the starting hands that then go into a full hand, which is behind me. We have 3 separate cards, which is 2, 2, 2, and then we make a brand new NFT. But these are all one of ones. They all take like a couple of hours to make. So we're up to 940, I think, that have been made, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so this is the tartan, and
but these will be done by hand, though, right? He's going to have to do these by hand.
I'm not sure how that's gonna work. We do have an artist, so maybe the artist will do it. But
I mean, someone will have to do it by hand.
Yeah.
It's not like Boss Cat Rocket Club, where you just send in your parts and there's NFTs already made.
I mean, maybe
these are all different, because my 3 parts are not the same. Mine are all different.
Right.
So there's probably a bit of work for someone, I imagine. So make sure everybody understands that it may take a minute.
Yeah.
And what we did, we tiered when certain people could go in to do it. Otherwise, you might get a run, and like you suddenly got hundreds of people opening tickets, and it's a nightmare. So we really staggered it out just to make sure it wasn't like that. That was pretty scary, actually. We actually brought on, I think, 9 or 10 members to help create them. Otherwise, it would have taken Hughes 8 months to make them all. So it's been really fun, actually, bringing the community in to be part of the project, and just to help with certain parts. And I think most of the main projects, all of the mods and most of the team actually begins as a member. They buy into the project and they buy into the ethos and they understand and then they kind of, for me, most of the time, I've just asked them, I'm like, would you like to become one of the community managers? Very rarely is it someone asking, apart from these chatters and random people coming in like today, we've got 20 people and we can do this. I'm like, no, we're good. What about a mod? I'm like, yeah, you can become a mod, become a holder, become a value part of the community. And if I think you would be a good fit, then I'll drop you a DM and ask you to be part of it. And then they just disappear, Oh, have you ever, and not to change the subject, have you ever seen chatters? Like, have you ever experienced it? I almost just want to like say, yeah, bring your chatters in. Let's see what happens. And I bet it's all bots.
Chatters, you mean like people who are offering a service to get more people into your Discord or something?
Yeah, and they'll come and be chatting and make it like lively and stuff. I'm like,
I mean, I've been offered a bunch of those people. I just assume they're scammers and I just ignore them.
yeah. I'm like, I'm just curious. I'm like, I'm like, one time I might just go, you know what? Here's your $200. Let's see what you can do, and just see. And you might be like, oh my god, these are perfect. They're just here, but I'm like, I don't know. I think it'll just be bots. Personally.
I did have one dude, and I kind of respected him because he kept shilling, even though I told him no a few times. So I was like, I respect this dude. It's still gonna be a no, but let me ask him a few questions. And I asked him, I was like, do you even know what my project is? And then it took him like 5 hours to respond. I think he was doing some research. And he comes back to me and he's like, oh yeah, of course. What I'm offering is whenever you mint something, you know, I'll be able to shill it out to all of your holders, and then we'll all be able to mint what you're minting all together. And I was like, that is not what I want. Like, I do not want people to mint what I'm minting. Like, I want people to mint what they want to mint. That's like, I was like, all right, well, have a good day, man. Good try.
No, it's funny. It's funny, isn't it? You know, I mean, the thing is, you know, a lot of people are hurting right now. You know, people are just trying to make money, make ends meet, however they can. If that's, I'm just going to hit up every single Discord and just see if anyone will just, you know, take me on. And maybe they just want to come in and just be part of it, and they can't really afford to buy the NFTs, and they just want to come in. But, you know, we just don't believe anyone, do we? We think there's always an ulterior motive to everything everyone does. So, you know. Which you have to have your spidey senses on, because there's a lot of people scamming. It's
right.
Like, oh, it's crazy.
If you are legit, that's, you know, it's going to be hard for you, but you have to prove yourself. You really have to come in and like prove why you're legit, because there are so many more hackers and scammers than there are real people. So, you know, if you ever do get called like a scammer or a hacker and you're legit, like, don't take it personally. Just learn that you need to maybe have a different sales pitch to come across more legitimate.
No, 100%. And this is the thing, because we're so, I don't want to say we're behind ETH, but we are, right? You know, they've experienced so much more than us. And, you know, I do hear about wallets suddenly getting drained on Cardano, and people just don't know how it happened. So it's possible. It isn't here yet. You know, there's really, really intelligent people. So I believe that all that will come to us eventually. You know, it will just, so you have to be really careful. Make sure all of your main NFTs that you know, everyone should have their, you know, their ledger that's protected with most of your ADA and your NFTs that you're not buying and selling. And then you've got your trade wallet. You know, this is the one that you do your buying and selling. You put your ADA there, you do your buying and selling, and you put, you know, it's just keep everything safe. That's all I would say. Nothing's happened to me yet, but I've heard about, you know, and yeah, don't escrow. God, escrow.
Yeah, don't ever escrow. Yeah. With everything happening in the market with like FTX, like obviously crypto took a plunge or whatever, but it seems like Cardano is doing okay because people have somewhat flooded into the market. You know, how do you think Space Pugs could capitalize on some of that movement?
Oh, I thought you were going to say another word then. Well, you know, this is the thing, right? You know, like weeks and weeks ago when everyone was coming over and everything was pumping and we didn't pump. And, you know, our members said, oh, can we do this? And we should do this. And I said, we're building. You know, we're not there yet, you know. And so last week, once our mint was set to the date and we knew more about the platform and when it would be ready, I set out to, okay, let's do some marketing. So I jumped on like 5 spaces over last weekend, and then I set up with Atlanick and I set up with Thor on Friday, and I said, let's start marketing, you know, and let's set us up to win. You know, we made sure when you go into the Discord, it's like, why invest in Facebook? So people can go in there, they can get to the wiki. Everything's built in for new members. All the community managers know exactly what to do. We've got a brand new bot now. If you go in there, do !info, it drops down. It literally tells you, oh, here's our info. This is how we do staking. Here's our wiki. Everything's set up for new members coming in. And the last few days, we've had like, a handful of new members. So this is one part that we're doing. And then it's also going to be our platform, which is going to be God, you need to zoom out on that, mate. Which is going to be really cool when we announce this and we start getting all of our partners playing, and then we'll have you guys come on and play and stream and stuff like this, and it's just kind of going to be inevitable, what kind of happens, because like looking at any other project that had something big, like Society's platform came out, Crocs, their platform came out. Look what's happened there. Mutants, and so like anything, we can talk all day long about what we're building or what will be, but once we show it and it's here, and I know there's a lot of people that they don't invest until they see it, because everybody talks and promises, and then nothing happens. So people just wait on the sidelines. Okay, now I see the platform, it works, it's great. Okay, now I'll come and be part of the project, and so it's just step by step.
Do you have like an alpha version or a beta version of your poker platform yet?
No, not yet. It's very, very close. It's pretty much playable at the moment, but we're still building. Like the lobby is still being built. It's just being connected. Like all the UI was done. We brought in a UI developer that developed everything on Figma. Really, really nice. And now it's just connecting this to the gaming engine, it's just everything needs to be connected. And this is just a lot of time, it's not one of our main devs that's doing this. Is another dev that we brought on to kind of work on everything called Shyam. So we're very, very close, so this is why it will be released in stages. So the first people to use it is obviously the team. And then it will be anyone that holds an alpha special edition or a utility chip. So this will be a really, really good utility for them. They will get to use it first, and then it will go down to anyone that holds a full hand, and then it will go down to everyone else that holds assets from Space Pugs, and the next will be anyone that is a partner of us. So Virtua, all 15 projects that are part of starting Poker Club, and like Unbounded Earth, and then NFT Seeker, and it's that there'll be a lot of people, so it's and there'll be tiers to use it as well, like pricing to use it, because obviously every single dApp charges you when you do something. You connect your wallet to MinSwap, you change chips, they charge you for this, right? They don't. You don't read it anywhere that they charge you. They just charge you. It costs 120, but the transaction was 4 ADA. I was on MinSwap before, it was 4 ADA, but you don't even think about it, right? It's just you just do it. So that's our business model. That's where we're making the money. We won't have rakes. We won't charge. We won't make money from poker. We'll make the money, which will be from the transaction fees. So once you connect your wallet, you can go on the platform, have a look at everything. Then you would go to the cashier, and then you would take your pug chips onto the platform. Utility chips and special editions, it's free. All you would pay is the 120, the minimum UTXO, and then it will go down to like full hands, and then alpha and starting hands, and then the zombies and the box, and then partners, and then non-holders. So you don't have to be a holder to use the platform. It will just be a little bit more expensive to do that transaction, but you need to have pug chips, so you have to go and find them from somewhere. So it's being set up, I think, in a really smart way, and I just want to get there, man. I just want to get to the promised land. It's like I've told the story a million times, and every time I tell it, I just get really excited about playing on our own platform. Could you imagine to have your own poker platform?
I couldn't even fathom it, but that would be amazing. I think
crazy?
Having your own like platform of whatever you want is just always great for it to be your own, just building something from the ground up is just, it gives you that sense of achievement,
Oh, exactly. I mean, I I've been playing poker for over 20 years. When I got into it a long time ago, I used to play online all the time. I was so addicted to playing poker online for cash. I was so addicted. It was literally I'd eat, breathe, and sleep poker in between my skating or whatever. I was just always playing it, and the penny hasn't dropped that we'll have our own platform. I'm like, it's huge when you see how big online poker is. 120 million people, playing. Over 50 million downloads of like Zynga on iPhone. There's so many people that are playing it. And this is the thing, there's so many people that can't play because they can't KYC. Like, you might be traveling, or you just might not be able to, you might not have a utility bill, or your banks might be online. So all of these people, or you might just live in a country that you can't play poker. You can't go to Poker Stars because you're not allowed, but you can go to Cardano Poker. So there's so many people that we can onboard that aren't able to play online. Like maybe in the States. I mean, I'm not sure if you can play now, or if I know there was points where you couldn't play. They banned everything.
It depends on what state you live in.
Exactly. So imagine all those states. Imagine, okay, in Maryland, for example, I don't know why Maryland, you can't play, and we just started targeting ads to Maryland that to come, and then we onboard them. That's when you have to work out the easy way to onboard people. And this is the thing: if you build it, they will come. As long as our platform is as good as we planned it for it to be, then people will want to come. We do have a few tricks for marketing when it's available for the public. There's going to be some really cool stuff that should bring a lot of people in. And here's a cool fact. One of my friends, his dad used to own, I always forget the name of the platform. It was the third largest online poker platform years ago. It went public, and he ended up selling it and making a lot of money. But he's actually going to be helping us with a lot of things. Once it's ready, he's going to actually be kind of an advisor for us. And he knows all the main poker players in the world. So we may end up having some of the big players come and play on there. So, sometimes it's who you know. It really matters, right? So if we can bring, like, you imagine you bring Phil Hellmuth on to play a game. It's just someone like that, someone huge, or Daniel Negreanu. I mean, I doubt we'll get him. He's GG Poker, but anyone that's like an actual legit poker player, if we can just get one or two, even some of the, the people that like maybe, not the top, you get some of the not lower rungs, but people that still go to all the big competitions. If you get some of those playing, it opens everything up,
See, and I don't follow poker, and I don't play poker because I'm a natural born loser at it. But even I know, like, some of like Phil Hellmuth or whatever, I know who that is. The guy, what's his name? He used to be like a bigger guy, and he had like snake eyes, like Chris Raymond.
Yeah. No, so, there's a massive opportunity, and people do, it's because people worry that there's two poker platforms. I'm like, okay, so is Cornucopias and Virtua and Unbounded Earth and Boss Planet and World of Cardano, and are they all worried? Are they worried about each other? Because I'm like, it's a lot. That's a lot of metaverse, for not many people. So I don't know. It's
what's his name? The guy, Atlanick. Look it up. Nick, look it up. Who's this guy?
Bro, how do I spell this dude's name?
Poker player, snake eyes, or something like that.
Oh, you were kind of along Chris
Snake
Raymer.
glasses.
Yeah,
Greg Raymer. That's who it was.
Because the Raymer, I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Greg Raymer.
So he just has these glasses of snake eyes?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what he wears.
I used to love watching Poker After Dark.
Yeah.
I've started watching a lot of poker lately, actually.
The commentary on it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good program. Some of the programs, if it's the commentator, right? If you've got a good commentator, or if you've got, someone like, coming on a podcast like this, if you've got someone that's great at interviews, it just changes everything. It flows. It's really enjoyable.
Like, one of my favorite shows back in the day Now this doesn't have anything to do with poker, but it was hilarious. Was MXC.
What's that?
MXC. Absolutely. Look up TV show. Yes. Well, that works. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen it?
No, it was probably on
Hilarious.
like American regular TV.
I've never seen it either.
You've never seen it?
No.
Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, you're too young.
Yeah, maybe.
Whatever,
It came out in 2003.
Yeah, that's when I graduated high school, dude. Absolutely ridiculous.
Do you guys know SpongeBob?
So yeah, it was just basically like a Japanese show, Takashi's Castle or something like that. And they would dub like American voices over it and make funny jokes.
Oh God! The commentators were ridiculous. That was a lot of fun. Occasionally, you do kind of one will just crop up on YouTube, and I'm like, "That's me. I'm gone. I'll just end up watching a bunch of those."
Yes. So Nick, if you get a chance, just go onto YouTube and just do MXC. Hilarious, absolutely wonderful show.
And what is it about? Poker?
No, it's not about poker. It's just a funny game show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of Japanese game shows, there was this one game show that I watched like the explanation of it on YouTube, and it was really messed up. It was like this dude, he like gives away everything, and then his goal is to raise something like $10,000 or $100,000, whatever it is in like Japanese currency, through giveaways, through like sweepstakes, and then he can leave. Yeah,
like he was naked.
But he's naked. Yeah, they took everything, and he has no way to eat. He has no way to brush his teeth, no way to shower.
Yeah,
and they keep him there for like a year, I want to say. He eventually wins everything. He gets really good at it, and but the sad thing is he wins at first like a bag of rice, but he doesn't have a rice cooker, so he's like trying to eat it raw, and he's like no, and he just gives up. And then, but he just like looks at the food, and he's like hugging it and like laughing with it, and like trying to make the best out of the situation.
Yeah.
He eventually wins. And they bring him over to another hotel to keep him there to do it again. He's really good at it at this point. So he crushes it, and they hide some of the winnings from him and money to try to keep him there longer because it was the most popular game show in Japan.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean,
I actually watched like a 45-minute documentary on that shit.
Yeah. I think we watched the same one.
And it was like, this is a trip, man. Like absolutely crazy.
He wins like a game, but he doesn't have the game console. Or no, he wins a game console and one game with it, but he doesn't have a TV to play it on.
Right.
Poor guy.
So when is okay? So I hold so I hold a space pug. What do I have to do?
Well, what do you have to do? I mean, you have to set it at your PFP first, obviously.
Okay. Step one.
No. The thing is, for you, obviously you can stake and get 10 pug chips per month. I would suggest having more when you stake, but for the whitelist, you need three pugs to get a whitelist, and because this was kind of grandfathered in from ages ago, because after the pugs mint. And then we started thinking about the Vox because it was part of the original roadmap when I came on board. I figured out how to do the whitelist. So it was like own 3 pugs. If you've got a 777, which is the top 777, you get an extra mint and you get one for free. But then once we came to the mint now, everything was pretty much all set in stone, and Poker Club had kind of been forgotten about. It's like, what about them? I'm like, okay, I'm like, you know what? Because most of the people are holders of pugs anyway, but there's a few that aren't. So we just did. If you own one starting hand, then you've got whitelist as well. Or if you own a full hand, then you've got whitelist as well. So if you own 3 pugs, you could mint 3, and if you owned one starting hand, then you can mint another 3. So then you could actually mint 6, and you'd be on the whitelist. So the easiest way to get a whitelist is just to buy a starting hand. At the moment, pretty easy.
So my favorite space pug, Fur, is okay. So you can just buy straight up full hands.
Yeah, so now because they've been made, and these are actually the best value. So if you buy one of those, the minimum pug chips you get is, for each one, there's a different amount. The lowest being 95, the top being 125, but then you get a bonus every month of another 200. So the minimum that you will earn every month is 295 pug chips for one of these. Now, a floor starting hand or a floor pug, you get 10. And for these, you're getting 295. So these, once the pug chip has value, these will shoot up because there's such a big gap between the amount of pug chips that you earn. Because I wanted these to be something really special, because you had to find 3 cards that made a straight or a flush from the same project. So some people, I mean, there's some you can actually make at the moment for like 250 ADA if you can look around, but some of the people had to spend a bit of money to make them, and because they have to burn those cards, pay 25 ADA and I think 125 pug chips, and then it had to be made. I was like, I want to make sure these are special. So when the pug chip has value, that you will see it with these will shoot up. These should be a lot more, but at the moment, some people see the potential, and some people, they're waiting. Like myself, I'm waiting with some projects. One of our holders, JDG, he did just submit to make 56 full hands.
Oof.
56 in one go. So so I'm gonna have to make a new role for someone that owns 50 full hands.
That's like 300 cards almost.
Yeah, no, like 165 or something like this.
Well, 5 cards, right?
No.
Oh wait,
3 starting hands.
That's so right. I was thinking about cards, not the fact that you get a hand. That's right.
Yeah, so once the ones he sent in and the rest of us sent in, we're actually under 5,000 supply. So we started with 7,777, and we'll actually be under 5,000. So this is that's going to be interesting as well. It's just at the moment, like a lot of projects, you're just waiting for that utility. Once the main utility of the project comes out, like a platform, then things change.
So if I wanted to convert 300 ADA to pug chips, let's say, how many pug chips would I actually get?
Don't know. Go and have a look. Go on MinSwap and let's go see.
So you said how much ADA?
Just 300. No big deal.
300.
Yeah.
And we'll go to.
That's quite a lot for pug chips. I'm curious. How many is that?
9,600. Is that right?
So this is the thing with the pug chip, right? Obviously, for us, it's a utility token. There's no value. For me, I mean, obviously, this is what you have to say, right? But I look down the road and I look at market caps. Our market cap at the moment, I think, is 1.5 million market cap. And there's really not much utility, right? You can use it for raffles. We can play a few games, but once the platform is out, that will change. It won't be 1.5 million. As soon as we get to 12.5 million market cap, then 4 pug chips is 1 ADA. So what you've got there, let's say, that will be what, 2,500 ADA, or is that more? Would that be more?
300 into
give or take, yeah.
So it will start to change, and because we've only got 50 million tokens, and if you look at any other project, no other project, I don't think you can name a project that has less than 50 million, even less than 200 million.
Yeah.
Like Society started with 700 million, Clay has 2.5 billion, I think Crocs has 1.7 billion, Greens I think is 250 million. Like we've got 50 million. So will we have a 50 million market cap in the future when we've got loads of people playing poker, and then we've got the marketplace where you can buy and sell assets with pug chips, and then we start minting more reactions and the lucky charms, like in the future when you can you can comment, I want to create this lucky charm from my own and it's all in pug chips. Like in the future, I'm like, I would be surprised if we don't hit 4. Like 4 for one mark. It's only a 200 million market cap for poker. You see how many people play this. So down the road, that's where I'm looking at, and if and when that happens, there'll be a lot of happy people, that believe in what we're doing and are earning and holding their pug chips, But nothing is guaranteed, right? We could bring the platform out and everyone's like, I don't like playing poker anymore. No, we don't want to do that. And with the way the world is going as well, you just don't know what's going to happen either, do we? Right? So it's all we can do is build, create, and deliver, and then kind of everything else will kind of take care of itself. Like floor prices take care of themselves, if when the demand is there and stuff like that.
Now
I wanted to ask.
Oh,
sorry. All right.
No.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about the straight flushes here. So these are obviously going to be, better than, I believe it's better than a full house, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah.
is there extra utility?
No. Well, the thing is, there's different amounts of chips that you earn. At the moment, there's lots of things that I would like to do, but these things, I can't really do them until we have the platform, For example, we may decide to have different days, tournaments for different people. Maybe I'm like, okay, you know what, we're going to put 10,000 pug chips for each full hand. Now, the full hand that is the most rare, there's more chance to win a poker tournament. Because they might own like the quads. I think the quads is the most rare. I think there's like 40. Or something. I think you can see there, but they're the most rare. So if I did a tournament for anyone that owns a quad can play, then that would be a really good tournament to play in. So there's loads of things we can do, and we've got the torn cards there as well. That we do plan to have utility for a few different things. It's just we're just not there yet.
Is there going to be a high roller table?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we already have one, right? We already have one in the. Let's talk about what the games that we play currently. So at the moment, there's 3 free games every day. We call it the AM, the PM, and the USA League. On UTC time, it's 9 a.m., 7 p.m., and then 2 a.m. So we make sure it's like 9 p.m. Eastern time. These are free to play. As long as you've got a starting hand, you can enter these. And I give away around 1,000 ADA every 2 weeks, which is split between the 3 of them. And then some starting hands and some pug chips as well. So they're free once you kind of have your starting hand. Then there's 4 or 5 buy-in games every day, starting I think from around 7 p.m. UTC to about 3 a.m. UTC. And they're buy-ins with pug chips, and there's a few with ADA there as well. So they're like the main games that we have. And then we also have some like heads up showdown, where it's a competition for just playing heads up with people. I match everybody up at the beginning, and once you win, you go through to the next round. And once you play it too, and you win, you go through to the next round, the next round, the next round. And then we have cash games that run 24/7. And I have one for me that's called. I think I'm not sure what the highest now is, because we used to do one pug chip was 100 poker now chips, because you can convert them in Discord. And when we switched we used to have 2 Discords. We've switched back to 1, and we've just gone 1-to-1. I think the highest is maybe 100 and 200 pug chip blinds. And then there's one that's called Adam's Den, which is my table. And that's just a bump higher, maybe 250 and 500. So once we go onto the platform, we will have, we'll have some really high tables. And what we did as well, the last 3 tournaments, is whoever would win the tournament is going to get to name a table. So imagine you won the table at Atlanick and you called it Atlanick's Palace, and there's a table there, and you can set the blinds. So you're like, you know what, I want blinds of like 100 and 200 with an ante of 50, and that's my table, and that's how and eventually you'll have like your own background, and we can kind of design your room exactly how you want it to look. And so 3 people have won those, and we're kind of we're going to try to make it as personal as we can. Every room will be different, and to really make it kind of like a fun social experience, a place that you can kind of go hang out with your friends, play poker, talk a little bit of, I don't know, it's just fun. Like I find myself, when I go and play poker, I'll chat more about different things at the poker table, because it's almost like it's not really I mean, people could be watching. Not that I'm saying spilling too much alpha, but I do give away a little bit more there because it's just you're just there with the guys, So yeah, it's fun,
It's kind of like whenever you're playing something, you kind of like put a bounty on your head or whatever.
Yeah, this is quite fun. This is fun, But it's I've been playing a little bit more lately because it's starting to be a few more people wanting to play. So I enjoy. I love playing poker. I just can't do it all the time if I'm trying to work.
Yeah. So I have an idea, and I don't know if you guys are going to do this, but do you have any plans of maybe using other tokens to play poker with? So you could potentially have a table that's using Yumi or a table that's using Mutant.
No, because that takes away the main utility of our token.
Okay.
If the only way to use it, let's imagine that everything goes perfect, that we've built the best poker, the best platform in the world. I mean, obviously, we can't really compete with GG Poker yet, but let's imagine we build something so amazing, everyone wants to use it, and the only way to use it is to have our Pug chip. That's the only way to use it. It's not like, oh, I've got some Yumi, so I can use that. Well, then there's no buying pressure on the Pug chip. There's no buying pressure on our assets. If the only way to use it is to have the Pug chips, and let's say you're a new user, you've got a choice. You can go to MinSwap or buy them, or you can go and let's imagine you've come with a few thousand ADA. You could go and buy a few full hands and some starting hands, and then you can stake them all to Anvil. And what we've done at the moment, the staking mechanism may change in the future, but as soon as you stake, you get all of your rewards up front. So let's say you could go and buy 10 starting hands, and each one is 300 Pug chips. So that's 3,000 Pug chips. You stake them all, and you get 3,000 Pug chips straight away. So then you can go and play straight away. You don't have to wait till the end of the time. And I mean, we are in talks about being able to do both kinds of staking. Because this one locks them up, so you can't touch your asset until the end of the period. And so we are in talks to being able to offer a different kind of staking as well. I personally, I think at best what would be good if you could have staking where you will earn them at the end of your time, or you can earn them every week, but you can take away your assets and sell them anytime you want. It's just when we signed up with Anvil, this is kind of what was available, and I liked the fact that people can get their chips straight away. And but it's not everyone's cup of tea, So it's things will change in the future, and we'll always try to do the best for the holders, and what everyone wants.
Gotcha. Clean. I'm gonna let you take over for a minute. I need to go grab some more water. I'll be right back.
Oh, can you get some for me as well? I'm empty.
I got this half gallon. Okay, you really see it.
What
put in work.
I meant to bring up a couple of beers actually, but I'll have a beer after.
Yeah. So I just got back from Connecticut. I went to a casino. So I went to Vegas, right, at CNFT Con or whatever. And I put $20 into a slot machine, and I ended up winning $28, right? So I won $8 from Vegas. And so as bad as my luck is as far as like betting and gambling and stuff goes, actually on slot machines is pretty good because I just got back from Connecticut and we went to this like little casino or whatever. And I go up to my wife. We were out with a couple of her friends or whatever. And I go up to a slot machine. I put another $20 in. And then I end up making another $120.
Nice.
And so it's like, for as bad of luck as I have at poker and other things like that, maybe my eyes light up too much. Like when I get a good hand, maybe I need to wear some glasses or something because I for sure I'm first rounded, right?
Yeah.
Right in the poker tournament every single time.
But the thing is, it's like I remember when I first started, and it's the thrill, that first day that I went to play, and that first time you get a big hand and you do get nervous, and it's like, but then the more you do it, it just becomes kind of normal. And I mean, that's why when you play online, you kind of no one can see you, can they?
Right.
But that's cool. That's cool that you won on slots.
Yeah.
I spent like a few months in Vegas. I was there for the pandemic. For like when the pandemic hit in like February, March, I was there, and I'd been there for like a month, and I stayed till August when it all opened again. But I'd never gambled once. even though I love to play poker, I didn't gamble once, not even $1. I didn't play poker or anything because I was there for a specific reason. I was there to train, and so I knew that if I went to play, either way, it's going to take my time. I'm going to win, and I'm going to keep playing, or I'm going to lose, and I'm going to keep playing. So I was that. If I just don't start, it's like anything, you know. If you know that you've got a sweet tooth and you're trying to lose weight, just don't even have that one. Or if you're trying to not drink, it's the same thing. I just controlled myself because I had goals and stuff like that. And now I look back, I'm like, I wish I want to go play. But I go and play here. I live in London, and so I'm like 30 minutes from the centre, from a really good casino.
Nice.
So, got a great card room there. So I haven't been for about a month. It's just been busy. I do plan to go soon. It's hard. You know, it's hard planning anything. I've planned that after this, I'm going to go to the pub with my girlfriend, give her some time and attention, have a couple of beers. But,
that's good. That's very good. I'm sure she'll appreciate that for sure. I think I'm going to stick to slot machines. I'll play a poker tournament though. I'll buy a hand, you know, today, later on, and hopefully I can get some pug chips, and then.
Well, I'll send you some over anyway. So just come into the Discord and send me a DM. I'll send you some pug chips, and we'll get you going. Because the thing is, what we kind of do inside the how it works. So one pug chip is one Pokénail chip. So when you come into the Discord, you would send the hey Priggy, hey guys, you would send your pug chips to my wallet, and then we'll run a code and we'll give you Pokénail chips. But actually, I don't even need to give you pug chips. You can just come in and I'll give you some Pokénail chips. You know, and then you can get playing. You as well, Atlanick. I can come in maybe tomorrow when you guys got time, and we'll jump on the cash table, and we'll just have some fun. You know, it's nice and easy. It's so easy. It works so easy in the Discord. It's really nice.
Yeah, I'm down, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting everything taken from me.
Yeah, you can give it to me because you know you're going to take it right back.
Yeah, we'll have some fun. We'll have some fun.
But so besides your mint, are there any mints that you're looking forward to kind of maybe flip or?
Well, the thing is, there's this TV kills coming up. It looks quite good. Like the art looks really nice on this one. If you look on Twitter, TV kills. They sent me one of their cult passes, which was quite nice. Sometimes, you know, when I'm chatting and stuff, I do try to ask if I can have something. But the art looks really cool for this one.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure when the mint is. I don't think they've opened the Discord yet, but I did a whitelist giveaway with them. This looks really cool. The Collectors Club looks pretty cool as well. And what else? I mean, I did a whitelist giveaway with the Bat Empire, I think it's called.
Okay.
It could be pretty good. I don't know. I judge it by how many people like and retweet and stuff like this, you know. But this is, you know, looking interesting. There's just darks. They've got one of these. That's not them. They've got one of these passes. If you go down, they've got a flying pass. Yeah, you know. So, you know, these passes seem to do well. So this could be good. And then obviously the Collectors Club should do quite well as well.
I've always found that so interesting because I think that's pretty much how everybody looks at it, right? Like if there's a bunch of engagement or if like a bunch of people like it, then it's kind of like, oh, well then, yeah, I can maybe like make some money off of this or flip it or jump into it. And then, but like at some point somebody or the first like 2,000 or 3,000 people need to like it, you know, in order for that to kind of happen. So it's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg. And, you know, sometimes it's botted sometimes, you know, but sometimes it is a good project and that botting does actually help. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Oh, exactly. You know, because of the way I came into Space Pugs, it was almost given to me, you know, at the beginning. You know, they set everything up, the art, the Discord and everything. So if I had to start from the beginning now, You know, I think if I was starting from the beginning, I would spend like, you know, 3, 4, as long as it takes, months, develop amazing art and a really good narrative and a reason for the project to exist, and find really good utility and set up a lot of kind of connections already with projects before you even begin to even post anything. You know, you make sure that you've got connections with all these projects, and they already got, you know, built-in whitelist, and they've already got, you know, a step already before, and then you announce, and then you've got so many people that suddenly share it straight away, and then it booms, you know. But it has to have substance. It has to be a good project. You can't just have hype for no reason, you know. And like at this point, it's like I start to think, I'm like, you know, what else is there to bring? You know, just more of these tools, you know. But we've got some amazing developers bringing tools now. You know, we're going to have poker platforms. We've got 2. We'll have the chess platform from Royal Chess.
Royal Chess, okay.
Yeah, I minted those, and then I actually got the silver and the bronze, and then I bought the gold on the secondary before. I think I got it for like 240, and then days later they were like 900, the gold. So, you know, I think when projects start to build really, really good dApps, you know, you imagine you connect your wallet and you can play chess, you know, and you can just play it, you know, the same. And maybe there's some other games that would work really good, you know. So I think that's kind of the next things, you know, the games, the gaming, you know, like Farmer Nash. I think he's going to be doing a lot of gaming. You know, he's been a breath of fresh air in the space. I think he's been really good.
Yeah.
You know.
So I just want to say real quick, if anybody does retweet this, I'm going to wait probably about a day, and 3 people who retweet, I'm going to give out 3 whitelists. So go grab your whitelist. And then anybody who's a holder of the Atlanick Ocean, I'm giving away the rest of these 7 because I was given 10 thanks to Adam. Big ups. Yeah, 7 whitelists given away in the Discord for Ocean holders.
Amazing. Yeah, and then you just need to give Atlanick your address and then send it to me, and we'll add those to the whitelist.
Atlanick, anything you're looking forward to?
Yes, actually. So it's not a card game in the sense of poker, but have you guys heard of Wolves of Rome?
Yes.
Oh, vaguely, but I don't know anything about it.
So Wolves of Rome is a card game similar, kind of like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering. And I played it the other day because they actually hit me up and they told me that they're going to have a huge tournament, and JPEG Store is going to sponsor it, as well as a bunch of other people who are going to sponsor it. It's going to be massive. It's going to take place, I believe, December 9th to the 16th or something. And there's going to be 5 streamers. I'm one of them. I believe Blake is also doing it, and a few others. And it's a really fun game. If anybody wants to play it, I'll go into their Discord and show you guys how you can do that, because it's already playable. You can already play it, and that's like the best part. So you go over to join alpha testing and do this little wolf command. You'll get DM'd, and then you just, you know, follow the little DM thing, and then you should get access to this channel and tester announcement. You'll scroll up, and then if you're Mac, you'll have to, I guess, wait because it's not working. But if you're on Windows, you just do the little Google download from the drive, and you can start playing instantly. And then you just go into testers chat and try to find somebody that you can play with. You'll just do, I think, ping to play is what it is. So you'll do this and you'll just hit it and then wait for somebody to hit you up, and you can start playing. I'm addicted already. I've played probably like 10 hours in the last 2 days. It's unhealthy, but
Really?
I wanted to learn how to play because while I watch it and commentate, I didn't want to not know what I was talking about. So over the last 10 hours, I have learned a lot, and I'm pretty confident in, like, you know, speaking on whatever and whoever is playing. And I just think it's going to be great. And they haven't sold out yet. They're still minting their season 2.
Yeah. So for this project, if you're a holder, what do you get by being a holder? You get to play.
Yeah, there's a bunch that comes with it. So let me see if I can find their link, because it'll show everything. I was looking at it yesterday too. So you get a bunch. You get, let me get to it. So you get medallions. Not really. I think those are just for show. So if you hold 1, you'll get the gladiator, and that may have already happened as well. I'm honestly a little confused with the medallions, but they're not important. What's important is you get whitelisted for every other drop. You get these Empire Founders cards, which are redeemable on game launch. So not now. This is the alpha version, but you'll get one of these cards, and there's probably going to be a bunch others. And these are extremely rare, and they're never going to be repeated. So you're going to be the only ones who can get these cards. Also, every time they come out with a new edition, so you know how most card games, they come out with new cards and new expansions, you're going to be the first to be able to get a new card pack per NFT that you own. You'll also get Glorium, which is their in-game currency, at the same time that the new editions are released. Same with Empire Shards, which can be used to make different, basically boards. So when you play, you'll have your board, but if you have these Empire Shards, then you can create different boards, so you're not always playing on the same aesthetically whatever board. And then you also can use whatever NFT that you hold as your PFP in the game. A few other things, and whenever they have tournaments, you're going to have to use Glorium to enter, but if you own an NFT, you can enter for free. And the last thing is, if you own all 6 from each one of them, then you get the Ultimate Collector's like status, and that'll give you access to the Founders Store, which is probably the most important part because it offers extremely rare and limited stock for certain cards.
And so when you play the game, do you win their token?
So they're gonna. I'm sure you'll win that as well. But there's also going to be NFT prizes. So the tournament is going to be sponsored by a bunch of projects. Everybody's putting up a few NFTs. So the first place is probably going to win some. Second place will win a little less. So forth.
Yeah. But like when you go to play with just 2 people, can you both put up like an amount of tokens to play for, or how does it work?
I don't think that's definitely not how it's working now. Maybe in the future they would add that. I'd have to ask them about that.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to imagine the game, but that would be cool. If you have different levels, it's like you just decide what you're going to play for.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I'll have to have a look into that. It could be cool. That could be fun. It's just there's only so many things I can do or I can bring to the community, because it's hard. Like, you can't do everything. If we're trying to do poker, like, we just concentrate on poker and we just deliver, the best experience for anyone that likes poker. It's like, oh, now we're going to go and do this. And then it's just, we end up doing too many things. It's just poker in the metaverse. Like, we have a lot of land, in Virtua, we have, I just bought another piece now. I personally have 5 inside the main hub, and then we've got another 3. So I think we've got 8 pieces in the main hub, 8 out of 80. So we've got 10% of the main hub in Virtua is owned by the team. And then I've got loads of others. So one day when we can use everything, and you can mine the resources, and you can, play to earn, build, work, whatever we're able to do in Cornucopias and Unbounded Earth and Boss Planet and World of Cardano, we'll be doing all of that, and hopefully we get to bring poker to the metaverse as well, that'll be it. Then I'll literally, not drop the mic, but I'll put my feet up and, like, we did it. We made a platform, we brought it to the metaverse, we brought it to VR, and that's the ultimate goal, VR poker. If you've ever played it, it's literally like playing poker in real life. You've got the goggles on, and you can just look around and people are there. So that's the ultimate goal, and that's down the road one day, but yeah. So what is this?
So yeah, this is just their first season's NFT. They're 180 each to mint, so they're a bit above floor price now, or mint price. And their second season were these liches, and they're below mint price because they haven't sold out yet. And they've been minting for about a month. So I was actually making a video on them last night while we were talking, them and a bunch of other projects. Like it's a gaming edition video. It'll probably come out in 2 days on like Crypto Raggies and a bunch of projects that I think are building. But this project, I'm just not sure why they haven't sold out. Now, I know they're going to do 6 total drops, and they're on their second. And the first 2 have been 180 ADA. Total is 2,222 from each collection. So the next supply maybe would be lower because they're having a hard time selling out. But I'm not sure if they're not selling out because people don't know about them, or if people aren't gamers and they don't care, or if it's just the market condition. I'm not really sure why that is the case.
Probably a little bit of everything.
You're probably right.
You know, it's like I think like nowadays you need to be on Spaces. You need to be on, coming on YouTube. You don't have to hit everything. You don't have to hit the same people all the time, but just kind of just have conversations where people hear about you, and they, even if they don't even like your project or whatever, it's just like at least they've seen it, and they might so they might just ask a question to someone else, or it's just with no action, nothing can happen, right? You go onto Spaces and you have conversations, and people ask you tough questions, and you improve, and you're like, yeah, I need to do more of that. And yes, it's daunting to go onto a space, and some people, English is not their first language, so then they're really scared, but you've got to do it. You've got to do it. You've got to put yourself out there. And the thing is, if you look, there's only 200 holders. How many holders are there? I mean, I say holders, wallets. There might only be like 180 holders, and you've got them in different wallets. But how many was there for the other one? 346. So that would make a difference. But I don't know what the utility is for both projects. And
yeah. Well, the utility is the same for both NFT drops. So for the first season, this is the first season. For the second season, it's all the same utility. But if you own all 6 seasons, then that's when you'll get the collector's status. And all you need to do is own one of each. But yeah, I think if I was on their team, I would debate starting to maybe do 1,000 at a time for these mints. The only thing is their team is pretty big. They have a whole massive team building this game, which is why it's already an alpha and you can already play it. Because they have so much resources put into it. So I think they need to make that money back in order to pay all their devs. But I have seen them in a lot of spaces, but I'm not sure. Maybe they're kind of staying tight niche to a few spaces. I think they might need to branch out, go to Wallet Wednesday, go to NFA. I'm not sure if they've been doing that, but I've seen them a lot in Ada Dolphins space.
Yeah,
so,
I was on there last week, and S20 Bullion is really good actually as well, and Get Lost I was on as well, and there's a couple of us I'd like to go on, but when I did like 4 in 2 days, and I was like, I need a break. I can't just keep talking about the project. I'm like, I need to build the project. It's like, after today, I'm like, oh, thank God I've got tomorrow. I have a day off, and then I'll be on Thor as well. And it's fun to talk about the project, but then it's also nice just to chat about other things. It's good to talk about some of the other projects and stuff. But what would be your one pick, like looking forward? If you were like, if you had like, let's say, 100 ADA, maybe 1,000 ADA, what would you, if you had to pick one thing to buy and hold now for a year, what do you think it would be?
Now, like a future mint coming up, or something that's already on the floor?
Just any NFTs that are available. I mean, I'm going to think as well, because I've asked the question, but I'm like, I mean, obviously, for me, I'd have to go with my own project, right? I'd have to pick.
Now, Alley Cats hasn't minted yet, but Clean got me onto Alley Cats pretty early on, and I'm very happy that he did, because I've been into a few Twitter spaces with them, and the way that they answer questions is very confident, and it doesn't come across as arrogance either. And they're building as brothers. They're building a gaming platform. And I know that maybe that's not the most bullish thing to build at this time, but their art is really cool. And just the way that the community's kind of received them has seemed extremely bullish for me. So I'm not sure when their mint is yet. They haven't, I don't think, announced that. No. But, if it was this month or next month, I may take that 1,000 ADA and just patiently wait with it to mint as many of these as possible.
So, from what I'm hearing, depending on what happens, I think that they're going to mint before the end of the year. I think, I invited him on the podcast. Tyler, who's like one of the co-creators, said, hey, we would love to at a future point. For right now, it's kind of head down and just producing at this point. And so I'm looking at like who's kind of on the list. And I've talked to some people like who are going to mint or whatever that I know. And from what I'm understanding, this is going to be a pretty well sought after collection.
Yeah, 100%. Like one of DLB, we chat in Slack. We don't use Discord for our dev stuff. We use Slack. He's like, Ali Cats, I tried to get into the Discord. I tried to do this. I missed it and stuff. And I'll reach out on Twitter. But I reached out twice and like nothing. You know, I think the only project I never heard back from. I'm like, oh, that's strange. Maybe they're just getting a lot. You know, probably a lot of people DMing. So I reached out to the mod yesterday and said maybe we can do a collab. And he said I'll speak to the founder, but I'm still waiting to hear back because I'm sure our members would like that. And I'm pretty sure they'll be doing collabs with projects. It's no matter how big you are, that's how you can really create a lot of hype. You know, you just do a lot of collabs with a lot of projects. Because is the collection 8,000 or 10,000 or something?
It's I want to say like 8 or something.
If you go to the top, I think it says at the top, or not. Oh no, maybe that was another one. There's one called Supernova. There's 8,000, I think, that looks really good.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how much. It might be on their Twitter. I don't know. I haven't.
Maybe I haven't seen. So if you know the Tyler, is that the founder?
Yeah, Tyler's the founder. Yeah.
Oh, you'll have to drop him a little message for me and
okay. Yeah. Because I got whitelisted for this. I want to say it's probably, I mean, if I were just basing on the social engagement, I would say probably a 10K is well within reach for them, especially if you're gaming. You know, I think that it's going to be a pretty sought after mint from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. It's been you see a lot of people with the PFP.
Go to the sneak peeks real quick on the old Discord. So that's the one I want right there.
Yeah, see, I like the one at the bottom.
Yeah.
No, the very bottom. Yeah, that one. I like that one.
Yeah. And so I will say, I think it's a derivative of Cats on Crack. If you've ever heard of that.
No.
Okay, Cats on Crack is CETS. It's like CETS on. Yeah, there you go. On crack. So I think it's somewhat of a derivative of this.
Yeah, kind of, isn't it?
You know what I'm saying?
Although our one looks better. I say our, like Cardano. I think they look better than this. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the only thing like I had a question on, but it seems like the community doesn't care at all. One single bit. They are pushing forward with this
yeah. But the thing is, everybody just wants
bigger.
Everybody just wants that next hype mint, you know.
Right.
Look up Supernova for me. I think it's called Supernova.
Well, I did Quackheads. I did Lunatics or whatever. Bro, that shit got me a bag. Like,
oh yeah,
a healthy bag on Lunatics.
There you go, Supernova CNFT. Look at this. Go down, scroll down. Keep going. Wait till you see this. Right, all these giveaways. Look at that.
Yeah.
I was just saying a few days ago, I'm like, someone should bring out like something like Transformers, but like really cool. And I think this could be really cool. I don't know. It's not for everybody. I don't know
like Mechaverse or whatever. Yeah, I have some Mechaverse.
It just reminds me of like Gundams, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Discord's open as well, by the way, for this one, so it might be one to start looking into because it's just a little bit different. And if some of the other pieces are really nice, it could be one to watch.
Okay, so not to cut you off short, I do have to pick up my kids.
Yeah, well, I've got to go. I've got to go to the pub anyway. We've done about 2 hours. So I think that's good.
Oh, good. Well, I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I appreciate you guys for spending your 2 hours with us. You know, that's amazing. And if anybody does want to check out anything more on Space Pugs Alpha, all of their socials are in the description below. And as always, guys, remember to get outside, see your family, see your friends. Here to make more money so that we can spend more time with them. Till next time, guys. Peace.
All right. See you later.
Say it.